Right. Good morning, everyone. Right. We completed three problems, right? Three problems in activity-based costing. Next, move to question number 4, the session 4. Right. Data below relates to two products manufactured by Relay Limited. We have two products, product alpha, product beta, and particulars units produced, 40 units of alpha and 40 units of beta. Material moves per product unit. Material moves is nothing but movements. Material movements per product unit. See why they are stressing like product unit. You can have units in materials also, raw material, right? Raw material may be measured in terms of kgs, liters, gallons. So those are units in material. Now here they want to say these are finished goods movement, finished goods units. Clear? That is the reason product units. Product means is always finished good. Product is nothing but as a result of our production, we are getting product, right? So these are for 1 unit of finished good, we have 12 material movements for alpha and 28 movements for beta. Direct labor hours per unit, 1740 hours labor hours per 1 unit of alpha and 1740 labor hours per 1 unit of beta. So same number of labor hours, right? Next, budgeted material handling cost 3,48,000. 3,48,000 rupees. I think we don't have any other number. I think this is the total handling cost. I think we know handling cost is nothing but it is an indirect cost, right? So overhead, right? So we have 3,48,000 rupees. Determine material handling cost per unit of product alpha and beta using volume based allocation method and ABC method. Volume based. See, in this problem, we have labor hours information given, right? 1740 labor hours per 1 unit of finished good and 1740 labor hours per 1 unit of beta. So they are asking us to allocate this overhead based on volume. So again, this volume is nothing but based on labor hours, based on labor hours, and the other one based on ABC method. Okay. Now interpret the results in both computations of one above. So once after calculating, I told you in our last class, after calculating ABC, total cost under ABC system, total cost under traditional system, we are going to compare the values and you will say whether it is justifiable to allocate under this method or it is undervalued or overvalued. That's nothing but interpretation part. So once after calculating overhead cost or total cost under both the system, then you can go for the interpretation. Here, go through the information once. As you material hand, don't have material, have labor cost. We don't have various categories of expenses under overhead. So we have only one overhead item, that to material handling cost. So that is the reason instead of asking calculate overhead cost per unit, they are asking us to calculate material handling cost per unit because that is the only item we have in our problem, right? Clear? Right. Want me to start? I will start. So first under traditional method, they are asking us to calculate under volume based. Volume based allocation is nothing but labor hour based, right? Okay. Number 4. So as per our requirement, determine material handling cost of product alpha and beta, right? calculation of material cost per unit or volume based allocation. What is that volume here? Labor hours. So I told you there are 6 traditional methods, right? In that, labor hours comes under which method? Second method. So based on units, second one is based on labor hours. So numerator is overhead cost. Denominator should be labor hours. I think already we have material handling cost. Numerator is ready, right? Then we need to calculate denominator. So numerator is material handling cost for the entire production. Because you have that number 3,48,000 rupees. 3,48,000 rupees is for the entire production of both alpha and beta for the entire factory. So denominator labor hours also should be for the entire production. So how many units we have? 40 units of alpha and 40 units of beta. So you need to calculate total labor hours for the entire production first. That is our denominator. Clear? So after calculating that, then I'm going to substitute in that formula. Clear? So labor hours for alpha and beta. So these are the two products we are producing inside the factory. So we are calculating the total labor hours for these two products. So how many units, sir, for alpha? For 1 unit, how many labor hours? These are labor hours of alpha. Now plus 40 units of beta and is it 40? 40 and 1740 labor hours of beta. So this one is for alpha and this one is for beta. Total please. 1 lakh 1,39,200 labor hours. Now material handling cost equal to how much? 3,48,000 rupees. Now you want material handling cost per labor hour. Equal to 48,000 rupees divided by 1,39,200 labor hours is equal to 2.5 rupees per. Can someone tell me what is this 2.5 per labor hour is known as? What is this? Good. This is nothing but overhead absorption rate, overhead recovery rate. Is it clear? So this is the absorption rate under traditional method. Clear? Now they are asking us to calculate overhead cost or material cost per unit, per 1 unit, right? For 1 unit of alpha and 1 unit of beta. Okay. Material per unit of alpha and Last discussion I told you overhead to be allocated is nothing but a resources consumed into ABC rate, right? Right? So here we are absorbing overhead on labor hour basis. So material in cost per unit. Alpha, how many labor hours? For 1 unit, 1740. For these are labor hours. And we got the absorption rate as 2.5 rupees per labor hour. 43. Good. I think you will get the same for beta also, right? 4350. Here, material handling cost per unit under volume based allocation. I mean, on the basis of a labor hour, this comes under traditional method. Now, coming to ABC system. Under ABC system, based on activities, we are going to absorb the cost, right? So, that is material handling cost. And we know under ABC system, activity is material handling, right? And cost driver, material moves or nothing but movements. So, activities, material handling, activity, material movements is cost driver. Now, let us calculate ABC rate. Want me to write in detail cost driver quantity and all? Going to write the cost driver quantity. Now, here, what is the cost pool amount? That 48,000. Cost driver quantity, cost driver quantity 40. Sir, 40 units is alpha, sir. Units, finished goods. See, go through the information. Go through the information. We have 40 units of alpha. Just please see. 40 units of alpha. And in that alpha column, it is given as material moves for 1 unit is 12. Means for 40 units, can I say 40 into 12 is the total movements plus, and beta again 40 units, but beta movements are 28 movements for 1 unit. 28 movements for 1 unit. So these are the total movements for your entire production. And that is the total material handling cost for your entire production. Total should be divided with the total movements. Is it clear? Sir, 40 is finished goods, sir. Those are not movements. And please observe, if you want to learn costing in a proper way, you should have command on cost units. Say for suppose 40 units into 12 movements per unit. Now I got movements. I have a clarity. Is it clear? But those are movements of only alpha. Clear? I want total material movements of entire factory where you are producing 2 products. So 2 products total movements. So beta 40 units and its movements is 28. So it should get cancelled. Moments of alpha, moments of beta put together. Total, sir, 1600 movements. Totally 1600 movements. Is it clear? Now ABC rate. Equal to 3,48,000 divided by 1600 movements. the 217 per moment. 217.50 per moment. Is it clear? Okay. So earlier under traditional system, we divide with the labor hours and you got 2.50 per labor hour. That is the absorption rate or recovery rate in that method. In this method, we will go with the activity, and that activity is handling. Moment is the cost driver, and we calculate this ABC rate. 217.50 per moment. Clear? Now let us calculate that material handling cost of alpha and beta. By the way, you calculated for 1 unit, right? Yes. The traditional system, we calculated for 1 unit only. See, per unit, right? So here also material handling cost per unit. But here we are calculating based on moments. For 1 unit, how many moments we have? 12. For 1 unit, 12 moments. Clear? Want any clarity? I am going to show you in that terms. Please see. 12 moments per unit. And just now you got 217.50 rupees per moment. Moment will get cancelled. You will be left with rupees per unit. That is what you need, right? Cost per unit, right? Rupees per unit. Should have a clarity what you are doing. Is it clear? So for 1 unit, how many resources you are taking? You are taking 12 moments into, for 1 moment rate is 217.50, and for beta 28 moments and rate is 217.50. Number please. First one 2610. Other one 6090. Clear? Material handling cost for 1 unit. Material handling cost for 1 unit. Yeah. Also material handling cost per 1 unit, but that is under traditional method. There you consider to observe 1740 is also labor hours for 1 unit only. Here also moments are for 1 unit only. Have a clarity. Yeah. Have that idea, then you can start your statements, what to be calculated in first statement, and the resultant ABC rate you can use in the next statement for calculating your final answer. Is it clear? So first bit over. Now coming to the second one. Before going for the interpretation part, please observe. So under ABC system, these are the answers. Under traditional system, 4350 and 4350, we got the same answers for both alpha and beta. Now, interpret the results in both computations of one above. So, in first bit, we calculated both the calculations. Now, what is our interpretation? They are considering, they have considered traditional method earlier. So, where they are absorbing on the basis of labor hours. As both the products are absorbing same number of labor hours, I think like it is not a proper basis or proper method for absorption of overheads, recovery of overhead, and you cannot identify the difference. As both the products are absorbing same number of labor hours. You are giving same amount of overhead for both the products. Cannot identify, and it is not a proper method for recovering of overheads. Whereas under our modern technique, ABC system, as activity is material handling cost, and that cost depends upon the material movements. So I'm going to consider the second method as the most appropriate method, and you can see the difference in material movements. One product is taking only 12 material movements, whereas the other one is taking 28 material movements. So when you have that activity driven by the cost driver, where you have almost here 1228 means more than double, right? But under traditional method, you are giving the same amount of overhead to both the products, right? So comparing to these two methods, which seems to be more appropriate, which seems to be more justifiable? ABC, right? Right? Is what you are going to explain here, that too in a simplified manner in 2 or 3 lines. Is it clear? Don't write paragraphs and paragraphs what you know about ABC. Clear? So what you want me to write here? Overestimation that we can just analyze that cost driver part. So under ABC, ABC system, material handling cost allocated to products alpha, beta of cost driver seems to be more appropriate and justified. Whereas, whereas method absorbing overheads equal the product, both the products not not up, not up. Clear? On lab based on act something else. One is absorbing more resources, absorbing 12, second one is absorbing 28 material. So it should be allocated more amount of overhead, right? It is happening in the ABC. Yeah. May I proceed? Right. Session 7. 7. The budgeted overhead and cost driver volume of XYZ Limited are as follows. So budgeted overheads, total we have 6 categories. Material procurement, material handling, setup, maintenance, quality control, machinery. So totally 6 overheads, and or you can call all those 6 as 6 activities. And respect to cost driver quantity, so it is given as cost driver volume. Volume is nothing but cost driver quantity. So you have all the quantity. Respected cost drivers are also given. And after that, the company has produced a batch of 2600 components of AX15. Its material cost was 1,30,000 and labor cost 2,45,000. The usage activities of the set batch. So set batch is nothing but here they gave you the batch information, right, of AX15. So where the batches consists of 2600 components, and for that particular batch of AX15, they gave you material cost, they gave you labor cost, and respect to resources consumed, material orders 26 orders, maintenance hours 690, and material movements 18, inspection 28, setup 25, machine hours 1800. Please remember, when I'm explaining the concept of ABC system, I told you total resources should tally with the total resources consumed by all the production departments. P, Q, R. So if you have, say for suppose 1100 orders is the total orders we have. It is nothing but 1100 orders placed by the entire factory. If all the production department's information is given in the problem, to make a total of all the orders, it should get tally with 1100. Sometimes I may ask you to calculate only overhead cost of only one particular department, right? In this problem, you can see they're asking us to calculate overhead of this batch only. And you can see its material orders is only 26. Out of 1100, they're asking us to calculate overhead of some particular product or batch of 26. If you know ABC rates, I can calculate ABC rate by using these two columns, right? Using that ABC rate, you will get cost per order, right? I will multiply with 26. I will multiply with this maintenance charge, so that I will get overhead cost of this particular batch only. Is it clear? I am asking you only one particular batch. Clear? And you should be very careful whether they are following the order or not. Majority cases they will follow the order, but in this problem they are not following the order of resources given, sir. Please see, first one is orders, right? So here you have orders, but second one is movements. Movement is third one. Should be very careful. This third one is to be multiplied with the second ABC rate, and maintenance RC is fourth one. Clear? But here maintenance RC is given as a second item, and inspection, here it is fifth one, here it is fourth one. Setup, here it is third one, here it is fifth one. So please check whether you are multiplying with the appropriate ABC rate or not. Second one multiply with the second one, gone. Is it clear? So when you are writing ABC rate column, you should write so and so number per material movement, per setup, per inspection. Then only per inspection, whether you are multiplying with the number of inspections or not, you will have that clarity. Simply writing 20 rupees. No, 20 rupees per inspection. Is it clear? Clear? So activity based costing is very easy chapter, and the same concept, the same problems it is going to repeat till the end, except some 5 to 10% here and there you will have some changes. 90% you will have the same concept. Is it clear? But if you make these kind of mistakes, in our previous problem for alpha, for multiplying with that moments, you are multiplying with R 1740, gone. Is it clear? So the concept will be same. You have to use the same logic for all the problems. So don't be in a hurry. Don't get carried out. Just stay focused. Whether I am calculating ABC rate in my first statement, after that multiplying with the respective resources consumed, whether I am calculating for the complete factory or for a particular product. Here it is for a particular batch. Clear? Out of 1100, you have 26 information. Remaining information they are not asking in the problem. Let us calculate only for that information. Clear? Right. Calculate cost driver rate, ABC rate, right? Nothing but dividing this column with this column will give you ABC rate that are used for tracing appropriate amount of overheads to the set batch. Set batch. So focus is only about this 2600 components of AX15 only. And ascertain the cost of batch of components using activity based costing. Cost of batch of components. They are not asking us to calculate overhead cost. They are asking us to calculate cost. Maybe factory cost. Maybe total cost. So your cost statement or your cost sheet, it starts with element like material first, next labor, followed by overhead. So material cost, I think they gave you 1,30,000. Labor cost 2,45,000. Below that, I'm going to write overhead, and under that overhead, I'm going to get 6 items. Those orders, movements, relating to the 2600 components of X50. Multiply with ABC rate. So under overhead, I will have 6 items. Material and labor, make a total. That is your answer. Clear, clear. Go through the information once. Go through the information. Go through the information. Set batch. And that's it. Batch of 2006. Cost of batch. Sometimes cost per unit. Then divide by 2600. You clear? You have to divide with batch size. Then you will get cost per unit. Right? Everyone, please start. So what is our first heading? First, calculation of ABC rate. Column headings. One, activity. Sometimes cost driver quantity, we need to make certain calculations and we need to calculate. In such a case, give more space for cost driver quantity. I think in this problem, they gave you directly 1100, 680 and so on. You can have a normal space. But if you need to calculate something like product A calculation together, if you need some calculations, leave more space. Here, so activity, cost pool, cost driver. So cost driver quantity as volume, right? Last one, ABC. Okay. So first one is material procurement, right? What do you mean by procurement? In our material chapter, procurement cost. So material, whatever the material you need, how you are going to procure. That procurement includes purchase cost, ordering cost, carrying cost, right? Right? So it depends upon number of orders what they are saying. So number of orders is our cost driver. Material procurement. Cost pool 5 lakh. Cost driver Cost driver quantity. What is that? 1100 is right. 1100 orders. Here now 5,08,000 divided by 100 orders, please. 5 527.27 per order. Next, cost pool. Cost driver. I think in our previous problem, I've used the same information, right? Material handling cost, number of movements, number of movements, back. Answer 3, 7 point. After material handling, setup cost how much? 50. Of cost driver quantity equal to 4,50,000 divided by 20 equal to 7 point per setup. That maintenance amount cost driver maintenance hours. How many maintenance we have in total? 1,400 150 115.47 per maintenance. After maintenance, one. Want everyone to write along with me. Participate. Write slowly. Quality control. 1 lakh. of inspection. One 195 point for inspection. After quality control, permission. Yeah, calculated. Okay. After ABC rate, calculate cost driver rates that are used for tracing appropriate amount of overhead. Because we know under ABC system, using ABC rate, we are going to allocate the overhead on an appropriate basis. Ascertain the cost of batch of components using activity based costing system. Now my heading is component. For particular amount in rupees for the 2600 batch of components, cost is 1,30,000. Right? Now coming to the overhead cost. So let us go with this information only. The usage activities of the set batch are as follows. So let us go with this information. But when you multiply with ABC rate, go back to the statement, select the appropriate, whether you are multiplying with the right rate or not, please go through that information. So coming to the material procurement, even though material orders is given, orders is faster driver, right? But actually the activity or the cost, you should call it as material procurement cost. Material procurement cost. I will write like this: material. How many orders we have? What is the ABC for order? 527 point. 13,007. After 709, 0. Note, please write 13,000. After material procurement, one is hence. So for maintenance, we have 690 maintenance hours, right? So maintenance are, so this is last 115.47, 115.47, 79,006, 74 point. Next, after maintenance, material hand. For material handling, we have 18 movements, sir. And for one movement, per movement, 367.65, 7.5 per movement. 1,006, 1,600, as 8. After material handling, as inspection. Quality control, have 28 inspection, right? 195.56 per inspection. Multiply 5, 547. 5,475 point. Here. After quality control, setup. So number of setups, 25, right? Cost per setup, 798.07. 19,009, 951, 951 point. Make it as 950. After setup cost, next one. So we have 800 missioners for one missioner, 5,000. So material cost over, labor cost over, and Make a total without any 5 lakh 5,54,429. For the end, want cost per component, you can divide with certain the cost of batch of components. Our objectives of cost account. First objective is attainment of cost, right? So our first objective just now if we by for overhead allocation consider it. So using your cost accounting subject, have ascertained cost of one batch. Here, so we fulfilled our first objective of cost account, attainment of cost. Anything else we need? Cost driver rate and cost of batch of components using, right? Problem if one comp divided by your batches. The cost for one batch, right? Again, why you are dividing means I'm going to say like this rupees per batch. Now 2,600 components per batch. Then get rupees per component. Is it clear? 213 point here. session 8. Right. KSN Limited manufactures 4 products, namely A and D. Namely A, B, C, and D. Using the same plant and process, the following information relates to a production period. Try to understand each and every. So, information relating to a production period, and we have 4 types of products in the same plant and process. The same plant and process, then only overhead can be added among those products. C and D are producing in some other plant. Why I am going to allocate this overheads to those products, right? Those products are being manufactured inside the same factory in the same process. Then only these expenses can be allocated or apportioned among the products, right? Am I correct or not? The reason they're stressing that point. And output A 720 units, B 600 units, and C 480 units, or D 504 units. The 4 products are similar and are usually produced in production runs of 24 units. So in a single production run, they can produce 24 units at a time. Can I say 24 units can be one production process in one batch? So if you want to calculate number of production runs or number of batches, 4 units can be used. Say for suppose above you have 720 units, right? 720 units divided by 24 units per production run. Units will get cancelled. 24 3s are 7. Yeah. So 720 divided by 24 will give you 30 production runs. Here, depending upon the cost driver they are giving. I think here they are using production runs, right? That is used production run. Or else sometimes they may give you like batches. See, 24 units from one batch, one production run, one time for setting up the machine. So unless they are using for some other overhead, some other expense, they are using parameter means, or else can run batches, setups, everything is here. So in our previous problem, they gave you 1100 orders. Directly you used to calculate ABC rate. But here in this problem, you need to calculate based on the information. See, production runs 24 units and sold in batches of 12 units. Please remember here, for selling the lot, for selling the quantity, they are selling in terms of 12. Here, the term batch is not related to production. The term batch is related to sales. The term batch. Here, our intention of batch is relating to production. Now, I told you divided by 24, you can call it as production runs or batches. Right? Right? So, my intention, batches of production. Here, their intention of 12 units is for batches of sales. Here, they are selling in terms of 12 units in a single batch. Here, don't get confused. Sir, you told us production runs and batches both are same. Yes, the same. But their intention of using this 12 units for sale quantity. So maybe in terms of batches of sales. Yeah. Right. The total overhead incurred by the company for the period are as follows. Now machine operation and machine maintenance cost 3,000, setup cost 20,000, source receiving 15,000, inspection 10,000. Always focus on that order. So below that cost driver quantity, whether it is given in the same order or not, always have a look at it. And after inspection, you have material handling and dispatch. Totally 5 items we have. Now, coming to cost drivers. During the period, the following cost drivers are to be for the overhead cost. First, they gave you setup cost, number of production runs. Setup cost means this one. Here, source receiving, third one. Inspection, fourth one. Material handling and dispatch, one. So, even though you have 4 expenses, but they gave you cost driver only for the last 4. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah. So for machine operation and maintenance, some information is missing, right? Let us go through the balance question, then you will get an idea. It is also determined that machine operation and machine maintenance cost should be apportioned between setup cost, source receiving, and inspection activity. The ratio of 4 is to 3 is 4 plus 3 plus how many parts? 10, 10, right? 9 parts, right? So this expense, machine operation maintenance, is proportional to setup cost. 4 parts. 4 parts is nothing but you have 63,000. 3,000 into 4 by 9. 63,000 into 3 by 9. 63,000 into 2 by 9. So these expenses, these three amounts will increase. Clear? So you can forget about that first number because you apportion among the balance three activities. So you can forget the first one. Now, after apportioning this expense, in your mind, you have to remember we have only 4 expenses. 4 cost driver. Anyhow, you have 4 cost drivers. Balance problem. Number of requisitions raised on stores is 50 for each product. 50 for, I think requisition is for second item, right? Totally, how many products we have? 4 products. Go through the information. Go through the information. How many products we have? So 50 requisition for each product means can I say 50 for P, 50 for Q, 50 for R, and 50 for sorry A, B, C, D. A, B, C, and D. Right? Now can I say 450 is the 200 is the total requisition. We need total for calculating ABC rate. Right? Total cost driver quantity. Each product. 50 for each product. Okay. And the number of orders executed is 192. So number of orders, they gave you 192. This is total. But requisition, you need to calculate 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50. Total 200, right? Number of production runs. I think for 2 items we have production runs. For production runs, I told you 24 units, right? So divide quantity this one, this one, this one with 24 to get production runs of A, B, C, and D. You have to make a total for your ABC rate. And after that, production runs completed. Anything else we need, sir? Else we need orders we can production runs and orders are to be calculated, right? Okay. I think in our previous problem they gave you cost driver quantity total, so straight away calculated ABC rate. I think here let us calculate those cost drivers clearly in a proper statement without making let us calculate clearly. After that you can go for ABC rate calculation. After that you need to apportion machine operation and maintenance cost to remaining not remaining 2, 3, 4, not for 5. I think for material handling and dispatch they are not giving any share, only 4, 3, 2, 9 parts they are giving, right? Yep. How to keep all these points in mind. Provide is the act costing recovery rate, nothing but it. After that, total overhead cost. Observe the language. Our problem the total cost per batch. Total cost includes material and labor. I think this problem we don't have any material cost and labor cost, right? Except overhead information, right? So after making a total and getting the information, you will get total cost, right? Right? And they want us to calculate total overhead cost per unit of each product using ABC. Okay, go through the information. reading the question. Just simplify the question. Try to calculate some numbers here and there so that when you are solving the problem, so you won't forget few things. Like without allocating machine operation and maintenance expenses to the remaining three, you'll start your solution. Yeah. So you should be very careful. My solution. Question number 8, right? So what you want me to calculate first? Yes. Let us calculate cost driver quantity in a proper way. Let us have the complete information in a single statement. So it will be easy for us to calculate ABC rate later. They are giving in terms of bit, first bit, second bit. Let us follow the same. I think analyze the activity based costing recovery rate. That is our first requirement, right? Okay. But before going for that one, I need to calculate. Okay. So I need to calculate cost driver quantity. A, B, C and D. And for calculating ABC rate, we need total of all the products, right? So please prepare total column also. Please prepare total column also. Our first one is don't touch machine operation and maintenance cost, because we are going to apportion on the ratio of 4:3:2. We are not apportioning based on ABC rate, right? So ignore that one. Next one is setup cost, right? For that setup cost, number of production runs we needed, right? So my heading here, don't write setup cost. This is not activity. I am trying to calculate cost driver quantity. So you have to write cost driver here, not activity. Don't write setup cost. Please write number of production runs. Number of production runs. I think it is given 24 units for one production run, right? So already I told you, please listen to me. 720 units divided by 24 units per production run. Units will get cancelled. Production run will go to the numerator. So 720 by 24 should be very clear that I am going to get production runs. Clear? So 30 production runs. Next one, 600 divided by 24. How many? 20. After that, 20. 24 2s are 48, right? 504 by 24. 20. So 30, 25, 55, 75, 76, 96. Right? Can I write 96 production runs total? Write in a detail man. Production runs. You don't write it individually in A, B, C, D, and D, it's okay. But please write in the last column as production runs. After production runs, next requisitions, right? Even though you know requisitions has 54 and every product, but let us the complete information in a single statement that it is given 50 for each product, right? 50 requisitions, 50 requisitions, 50 requisitions. Can I say 200 requisitions, 100 requisitions? After that, inspection, right? Inspection, number of production runs, right? Okay. That for third one, production runs only. So how many times you are undergoing production? So those many number of times factory is undergoing production. to identify whether you have any defective units or not. All units are good means you can dispatch it for customer. If you have any defective units, so you can't dispatch it, right? So customer again he will send back to the production department, right? So if you inspect as part of quality control, if you inspect at the point of production itself, you can avoid that defective and all transportation here and there, and right. Okay, so I'm going to write number of production runs. I'm copying the same first row again. After production runs, next one. Number of orders. What is given for orders? That's sir. And the number of orders executed is 192. By the way, they gave you 192 total, right? For calculating ABC rate, the total cost divided by 192 will help you in calculating ABC rate. But when you want to calculate cost of A, B, C separately, you should know the individual resources consumed in that 192 by A, B, C and D. I know total is 192. What about the orders taken by A, taken by B, C and D? So for that calculation, I think it is sold in batches of 12 units is given, right? So based on the orders placed, we are going to sell in batches. Sell in batches. Here, that production output. Here we don't have any closing stock kind of information. Means whatever you are producing, you are selling the entire quantity. Production equal to sales. So that 720 divided by 12 will give you number of batches. It's very simple. First row you have 24. Now you are dividing with the 12. 12 is half of the 24. So the production runs will get double. That is the reason 96 double 192. Is it clear? Or else please calculate. Now this is 60. Next one 600 divided by 12, 50. 480 divided by 12, 40. 504 divided by 12, 42. You can make a total, you will get 192. Clear? Yeah, you should get the answer, right? We are following the same approach, right, every time. Okay, we have production runs in so and so and 192 orders executed, right? Okay, after that you need to calculate ABC rate. You need to calculate, but for calculating ABC rate, cost pool divided by cost driver quantity. Don't be in a hurry to use those numbers immediately by dividing with these resources. Before that, you need to allocate that machine operation and maintenance expenses share is to be given to set up, stores, receiving, inspection. After giving that expense, even that share also is to be recovered. So in your numerator, you should include that 4 parts, 3 parts, 2 parts, then only divide with this production runs and orders so that you will get the appropriate absorption rate. Or else without adding those numbers, if you divide, what about that amount where you are going to recover, where you are going to absorb? You have to absorb from the resources only, right? So you are dividing with the resources before adding that amount to the numerator. Clear? So you should be very careful to allocate that machine operation and maintenance expenses. I'm going to show a statement, I mean simple line. Machine operation and Maintenance cost. How much? 3,000 to be apportioned in setup cost, stores receiving, and inspection of y to 2, not 2 is here even, right? Setup cost, stores receiving, inspection. 3,000 4 by 9. 9 sevens are 63. 7 fours are 28,000. Right? 53,000 into 3 by 9. 7 7 threes are 21,000. 53,000 to 2 by 9. 14,000. Here. Cost driver. Cost driver. Quantity. PC rate. So leave that first one. Start with setup cost. And cost pool. Earlier it is 20,000 plus just now they got a share of 28,000 from machine operation maintenance. Put together 48. After setup, stores receiving. Stores receiving before it is 15,000. Now after adding a 21,000, now it is 36,000. And inspection, earlier it is 10, now it's 14. So 10,000 plus 14,000, 24,000. And after inspection, material handling and dispatch, fine. I think nothing is to be added to this one, only first three, right? Okay. Now cost driver. It 96 production run. 96. Next, source receiving requisitions. Ins raised 100 requisitions. Next, inspections. Material handling and dispatch. 190, 192. Was executed or batches. Both are same. No, ABC rate. How much? 500. So 1, 36,000 divided by how much? 180. 24,000 divided by much? How much? 30 point. Yeah. So we got activity based costing rate, ABC rate. Next one, integrate the overhead or total overhead cost per unit of each product, ABC, each product. So you need to prepare for all the 4 ABCD. Of each. Sir, only overhead cost, sir. We'll start with setup cost first. For setup cost, number of production runs, right? Number of production runs. Please see, number of production runs is nothing but 30, 25, 20, 21. And for each production run, rate is so 30, 25, 30, 5, 20, 21. But everything is to be multiplied with 1, 10,000. Calculate 48. Here, so this is setup cost. After setup cost, for stores receive requisitions, I think 50 per requisition, right? 180 rupees per requisition, ABC rate. So 3 into 180 is 9,000. I think 9,000 in every column, right? Thousand is our cost. After stores receiving, next one based on production runs. So 30 production runs, 25, 20, 21. For inspection, 250 per production run, right? I think exactly you are going to get half of first row. So can I say 7,500 here? 1,250, 1,250 if I'm not wrong. 5,000, 5,250. After inspection, next one, sir. Dispatch, number of orders, nothing but production runs, right? Batches. Let me check the batches. 350, 40, 42. 50, 40, 42. Rates, sir? Much? That 0.5. Multiply and tell me the number. 810. First one. 670. Very good. 540. This one 540. Sir? 567. So we have setup cost, stores receiving, inspection, and material handling and dispatch. Okay. So apart from that, I think we don't have any other expenses, right? Even operation maintenance cost also we apportion to the. I think you can make a total. 15, 9, 24, 31, 500, 32, 310, 12, 5, 9, 21, 500, 27, 500, 27, 750, 7, 750, 28, 4, 25, 20, 28,425, 19, 24, 24,540, 20, 25,000, 3, 317. Here, sir, they ask us to calculate total overhead cost per unit. This is total overhead cost, sir. This is for the total production. Because in the above statement, we consider total production and total batches, total requisitions, all these resources for the entire production. Now, this cost is for the entire production. Now, if you want to calculate on 1 unit basis, you need to divide with output. So, 720 units, 100 units, 48 units, 504, cost per unit. Divide and tell me. 44.875 per unit. Here 47 point 51 point 3 point 3 clear. So 44.875 per unit, 47.375 per unit, 51.125 per unit, and 50.23 per unit. Notes. That it is one, right? Any doubts? Always for solving the solution, you have to analyze the question first. What is to be calculated? What is missing? So if I want to adjust this calculation, this first calculation cost driver rate, I can adjust. But every line you have to think where to adjust that information. Because I have only 5 columns here, right? For calculating ABC rate, I have to adjust here. I have to adjust the cost driver quantity calculations here, right? But better to calculate in a proper way. I have all the 4. You observe even this production runs, because 2 particular activities they are absorbing based on production run. For the sake of third one, I don't want to miss. That is the reason I copied this production runs again. Here I have production runs, but without making calculations, I copied the numbers. Is it clear? So that I have in order. I can copy in the same order. Is it clear? So after production runs, you apportion this operation maintenance cost. So the same numbers I have added here. Now everything set right. So I can go with our normal calculation after ABC rate. Now this is my second bit heading. Last calculation. Finally, this here. Right. We'll continue next class.